Hardwood is beautiful and a great option for flooring, but what should you look for when choosing a hardwood floor? These are the 6 most important things that you have to think about when you're choosing your hardwood floor. Today's question is from a fan named David. He's out of Pasadena, California, which is pretty close to me, so let's look at the question. Hey Tarek, I'm tearing out the carpet in my house and replacing it with hardwood. What should I be looking for as I pick which type of hardwood floor to install? David, thank you so much. That is a really good question. I love hardwood floors, and over the years I've installed hardwood in dozens of houses. It's on the more expensive side for flooring materials, but it's definitely worth it. When I'm flipping houses, I typically install hardwood flooring on the more expensive flips. The reason is, at that price point, they actually bring value. I like wood flooring because they're really durable and they can last a really long time if you take good care of them. The great thing about hardwood floors, after a few years, if you want to change the look, you can sand them and refinish them. I just bought a new house myself and the wood floor was newer, but I just didn't like the color. Instead of spending $30,000 to $40,000 for all new flooring, I hired a company, they came in, they sanded the floor, they changed the color. The result was beautiful and it was $5,000. So these are the 6 things that I always think about when I'm installing hardwood flooring. Different floor types give you different durability, grains, pattern, and color. So make sure you do your research and figure out what you really want before you select your type of wood. I personally prefer rosewood, oak, or cherry. They last a really long time because they're super durable and they look beautiful. You can always go with a wood flooring that's more exotic. I've seen people do tigerwood floors, Brazilian cherry floors. They're not as durable, but they definitely make a statement. Now that you've chosen your wood flooring, you have to figure out how you want to lay the wood flooring, and there's so many different options. My favorite options are to lay it straight, lay it at an angle, or what I really like is a herringbone pattern. Straight lay flooring looks good in any space. You can go with narrow planks, which is about 4 inches or less, or you can go with a wider plank. If you really want to make a statement with your floors, you can mix up patterns. So I just did a house on my show. It was in orange, and at the entry of the house, there was a little step-through area that takes you to the 2nd floor. What we did is we took the exact same wood that we did the straight lay on upstairs, but we did a herringbone pattern when you walk through the door. So we cut the wood down into smaller pieces and we laid it herringbone. The result was amazing. Hardwood flooring comes in all types of colors. The great news is if you buy a floor today and you don't like the color a few years from now, you can sand it, stain it, and change the color. There are so many different textures with hardwood flooring. You can go with a brand new, shiny, flat looking hardwood, or you can buy a brand new hardwood that's been distressed and hand scraped that looks like it's aged and antique. Typically, the distressed look goes more with the traditional style home. If you have kids and pets, you might want to consider a distressed hand scraped wood. Here's why. It looks beautiful, but the floor is already a little bit beat up, so over time, it won't look awful, it'll look how it was supposed to be when it was installed. Speaking of pets and kids, now let's talk about the hardness of your floor. When it comes to the hardness of your flooring, it's really important to understand the space that it's going in. I'm gonna give you an example of something that I did that turned out pretty bad. A few years ago, I found these wood floors that I really liked, and this was for my own home. They were black, they were beautiful, but they were more of a softer wood. What happened was my kids were riding their bicycles, their skates, they were throwing things, they were playing with toys, and I'm not kidding. After like a month or 2, you can see marks and scratches everywhere. If I could go back, I would have gone with a really hard flooring that can withstand the amount of damage that was done. If you're looking to install wood flooring in a high traffic area, you must consider hardness. High traffic area means where people are going to be walking, playing, riding scooters, riding bikes, animals running around. That's high traffic. If you go with a softer wood, it's going to scrape, it's going to get dense, and in a short period of time, it's not going to look good. So if you're going in a high traffic space, try to go with a harder wood flooring. If you're going into a less traffic space, like maybe a formal dining room that no one's really in, you can go with the softer wood. Whichever level of hardness you choose, proper care and maintenance will keep the floors looking amazing for a really long time. The last thing you need to think about when it comes to hardwood flooring is going to be the flooring's finish. Along with protecting the surface, a great finish can enhance the floor's luster and its color. A lot of hardwood flooring comes pre-finished, which simplifies the installation. These factory applied finishes generally have a longer warranty, as they are longer lasting and more durable than site applied finishes. Some people prefer site finish flooring, which means it's finished on site, and this will give you a wider selection of colors. And it gives you the opportunity to hone the surface and even out imperfections. David, thank you so much for the question. I really hope the information I gave you today helps, and I cannot wait for you to install those floors. Send me some pictures so we can see how they came out. If anyone else out there has any questions about any flooring, go ahead and leave them in the comments. You never know, your question might be asked on an upcoming episode.